Here we go. What it do? What it do? What it do? It's your boy B Damone
Coach Gomez.
in the house. This is Along the Wire, episode 141. This is your mid-season checkup that we are doing. The season is halfway over. It feels like it just started.
Oh yeah, man.
Week 5, week 6 is upon us. And we're gonna be letting y'all know about some players in the area that have caught our eye and that we feel y'all should be aware about. Some of y'all will know them, some of y'all won't know them, but that's exactly what we are here for, to make sure that y'all are very aware. So just want to say shout out, first of all, to South Texas football. Appreciate the hat. So just rocking it today. And how's everything going for you so far, man?
Man, good. It's good to be back. You know what I mean? Been catching a lot of football from high school to college and NFL, just absorbing it all in and loving it. Love this time of the year, man.
Right. So it's been an exciting season, and we're gonna jump right into the excitement, and that is the rankings of the San Antonio top 25 that I released today at 11:30. Excuse me. So let's bring that up real quick, Joe. We're gonna go from 1 to 25. 1, we got Steel at 5-0. And I'll be letting y'all know what they were on a bye week this past week, so they maintained their number 1 position. 2, Brennan won their game 41-6. So congratulations to Brennan for that. Excuse me. Number 3, Johnson lost to Brandeis.
That was a hell of a game, though.
That was a hell of a game.
Shouts out to Brandeis getting together at halftime and came back and
making adjustments.
Shocked everyone.
Making adjustments. A 28-point fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That was really something. Everything that needed to happen, that could happen, happened.
Yeah.
And shout out to Brandeis for taking advantage, and Coach Bruce and JC, Brady, everybody who ended up making plays, running back Coleman, Jaden Perez, everybody. That was truly a team effort.
Yeah, perfect example. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and it's playing all 4 quarters. Are you built for 4 quarters?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you can come out tough on that first half, but you can continue that same toughness for the next 2 quarters.
But that was last week, because I actually went off board there. The new number 3 is Bernie, and they are 5-0. Number 4, Smithson Valley is up 1 spot. 5, Taft is up 2 spots. New Braunfels is at number 6, and they maintain their spot. They're on a bye week. Number 7, from 10 to 7, moving up 3 spots, is Davenport after their victory over Divine. 2 undefeated squads.
Davenport's going to continue to impress. Like I've said before, that's one of them new schools that's out there on the outskirts of, between Clement, Steele, and New Braunfels, and they have a lot of ballers out there. We've always touched on those kids out there, because it's through 7-on-7.
Right.
And not only that, knowing that, they were a young bunch coming up now, and then just doing the damage they've been doing. It kind of reminds me when Harlan started back then, when they had Cannon and all that, when they kind of split schools.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the kind of feel that this Davenport team has. And that group of kids is going to be special. And, they have that senior class, that junior class.
Exactly. So shout out to Davenport, number 7. Number 8, New Braunfels Canyon. They maintain at number 8. New to the top 10, up 7 spots after their victory over Johnson, is Brandeis at 5-1. And closing out the top 10, we have Johnson dropping down 7 spots from 3 to 10 at 3-2. And bring this down. Number 11, Vets Memorial. They just had a good win over Lockhart. Lockhart's played some San Antonio squads and been 0-2 the last couple of weeks. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to, not be facing the Davenports and the Vets of San Antonio.
Hey, and
right now.
that's a good measuring stick for these San Antonio squads.
It
stepping
really
out there
is.
because Lockhart, they don't put out no chumps. You know what I'm saying?
It
They
really
got
is.
some good squads year in, year out, and they know how to compete up there.
Exactly. Number 12 Clark is up 3 spots at 5-1 now. Reagan maintains they are on the bye week. They were at 3-2. So they maintain the 13. Number 14 up 3 spots. It's not Haran. It is Harlan.
Who's Haran?
Harlan. It is Harlan. That is Harlan moving up to 14 from 17 to 14. Number 15, we're at Judson. That is down 1 spot. They were on a bye week. And they get back to it this week versus East Central, I believe. Number 16 up 5 spots is Antonian after their win over Somerset.
Yeah.
Came out and opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Ricky Gonzalez, shout out Ricky Gonzalez. So they came out and they made a point against Somerset.
Yeah.
I know that was a game that several players had mentioned to me, and hey, this is going to be the one that we're definitely going to make a statement. So, congrats on following up on your words, because that's exactly what it's going to take. And number 17, we do have Somerset. They dropped 8 spots after that loss, so dropping from 9 to 17 to Somerset. Number 18, Seguin holds after their bye week. Alamo Heights was on a bye as well. They're at number 19. Number 20, Southside at 5-1. It shows a bye week sign, but they just beat South San.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
It was a bye week.
So they won the week.
Yeah, they won the week. It was a scrimmage.
They won the week.
It was a scrimmage.
So shout out to Southside, Coach Locke, and everybody out there. Number 21, Warren taking the loss. That was we're actually going to talk about that right after this. Warren dropping 10 spots from number 11 to 21. Clemens maintains at number 22. Back in the top 25. New this week is Central Catholic at 3-1. And maintaining at 24 and 25, we have Harlandale and Sam Houston. So that is your top 25 for week 6 in San Antonio by Along the Wire. Just want to hit on a couple of games real quick. First off, I saw the strategy in Brandeis and Johnson. I was about to say Harlan, those colors. You saw how Brandeis wanted to control the clock early, and like their first drive took like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. And then the next thing you know, once Johnson got the stop, and then within a couple of plays, boom, touchdowns. And then you understood why they were taking that method. But it just felt like Brandeis just had to dig their heels in and take those first couple early punches to just figure out what's going on, because Johnson's one of those schools that's going to constantly keep the pressure going. And if you're not sure, that ball is going to be flying over your head.
And they definitely made some defensive adjustments, man, because just maintaining and trying to contain Hawkins. All right, cool. Let's limit him on his legs, and let's see if we can have him beat us through the air.
Right.
And not saying that he's not consistent, because he's a damn good quarterback.
Right.
You're gonna make it tough for him, which they did. Exactly. And so it was just those times when when the deep passes were there, they were overthrown a little bit. And so it was just, seemed a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah. But that's one thing Brandeis, and that was one of the things about thinking about this game that Brandeis has always had as a defense. But when you have an explosive offense like Johnson does, once that defense gets it figured out, then you start seeing the changes like we did in the second half. Well, let's be honest, a lot of them key pairs, with the exception of Cervantes, you got some young sophomores on that Johnson personnel.
You got Bubba and King and King Johnson.
Yeah, so those dudes are just getting better week in and week out, man. And they're gonna have some times where they're gonna see some different defenses.
Right. And this is still only Ty's fifth game as a quarterback.
Exactly, man. So they have something special going on over there.
Exactly.
Nothing to hang their heads about. I'll tell you that
nothing.
Right now.
Nothing at all. And then Warren and Taft. That was one where Warren was just coming out of the slugfest with Harlan, and they have Taft that's kind of, I don't want to say built like Brandeis, but both of them have stout defenses and can run the ball if they need to. Of course, more so with Taft.
Yeah.
And TJ Andrews was just hitting home run, a couple of like over 70-yard runs, and then being able to control that game. I think Warren, man, that kind of, it didn't take me by surprise, but I thought they were going to win that game because I felt like they had a little bit more on the offense, because I thought their receivers might be able to, do something against the Taft secondary. But overall, that Taft defense sunk in, and same thing like as in Brandeis.
It's one of those. It's one of those things. If I'm a head coach and I'm sitting over there at Warren's,
Mm-hmm.
in the locker room or in the office thinking about this, I'm like, man, I just got in a battle with Harlan,
Mm-hmm.
right? How many points they put up was like
52
points and still lost.
Yeah.
Not that Harlan's a pushover team, but still, you put up 52 points and you lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you go around this week and you still can't get anything going on defense. Hey, we're mid-season. We got to make some adjustments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because Mez is a decent quarterback back there.
And they've got size, and they have a secondary. Like, they have everything that you need.
Yeah, they got receivers. They got everything over there. It's one of those things. All right, maybe we got to change some players and positions and stuff like that. Or maybe we don't got to be going to the long ball all the time. Let's start off with some run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you got to establish the run before you can do the passing game.
And they've got good-sized running backs, too.
They do, yeah. So let's establish the run. That way you get the defense playing offense. Because if you're just going pass, well, you know what? We're expecting pass, and we'll just get 5 DBs out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And props to Taft's defensive line. That's always been one of their strengths the past couple of years is, Trey and Jude being able to get pressure on Antonio.
Yeah, and since Trey's been there the last couple of years, I mean, they've always said culture,
right,
and they've been able to continue sustaining that, and that's good to see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, so as far as we started mentioning a couple players' names. We're gonna get into some players that have caught our eye. How's that sound right now?
Yeah.
All right.
My 5 versus your 5. That sounds amazing.
See,
hey,
we're gonna go over 10 players.
Everything we do, we compete with. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's.
That's facts. Y'all are always competing, even with your pick'ems and everything.
Oh man, I mean, you got to make yourself each other better.
Even like you were saying, Brandon likes to emulate your style.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not the only one who notices it.
That's an off mic conversation. All right, so who do we want to go with first? I think you have the sleepers.
Oh man, yeah, man. I mean, it's like when we talked about creating this list. It's not that there's no other guys out there. I'm talking about the guys that no one really mentions about, no one talks about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got some guys out there. Do you want to go first? Am I going first?
I'm gonna have you go first with your quarterback sleeper, because I mean, I saw this kid work out and with Quincy Carter, and you mentioned him. So let's go ahead and get into.
Yeah, my quarterback sleeper right now is Nicholas Leota Clark.
Okay.
He has been going at 5-1 right now.
Right.
The guy's thrown for 929 yards. He has 9 TDs versus 2 interceptions. Has a 61.5% completion rating. Kid stands at 6'2", 210 pounds. Also has a 4.0 GPA. Class of 2023 kid.
Right.
Now this is a kid not only has just came out of nowhere. He's also made Nico better, and he's also made
Chris Gertz.
Yep,
Michael Vasquez.
And Michael Vasquez better.
Yeah.
We didn't expect him to come out and be the quarterback. I know there was other quarterbacks that were supposed to be in the making, but that's why we're talking about him.
Exactly.
He came out of the scenes out of nowhere,
exactly.
And the kid's doing a great job in that offense over there, and I hope they continue to do that.
And as you can see, he also has the legs. He's got several hundred yards rushing as well. He's one of the leading rushers in that district. And we actually did see him last year, and he was getting his training on by himself.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of training alone. You're exactly right.
And but we just,
Head down grinding.
Exactly.
Head down grinding.
Exactly.
And
That's the perfect way to put it.
grind till they know your name, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, we had met him, but honestly, I had forgot about him. And then next thing you know, Clark's 2-0, and I'm keeping up with Nico's, and I'm seeing his highlight film because Nico keeps up with me, and he sends me his film, and I'm like, man, who's this other kid handing it off to you or throwing it or dumping it off? You know what I mean?
And exactly how you said, 6'2", 200 pounds, and the ball flies out of his hand. Yeah. Like he's definitely got a cannon, and he's able to throw the ball on a line. Very good arm, as you see right there, him throwing the Nikos, as a matter of fact. Able to stand in the pocket, confident, really good base when he throws, and man.
And my other guy, we'll jump into my other guy if that's where we're going, is Isaiah Manchester. And Isaiah's a kid who's out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Dude's a diehard Tar Heels fan. Been playing football since he was 3 years old. Started out in Crestview, Florida. Then he came into my hands for a few years.
Right.
Nah, but Isaiah's a unique guy. You know what I mean? So unique that he plays the trumpet, bro.
I didn't know that.
Hey, you got to know. If you know, you know.
Here you go.
And another thing I like about him is he volunteers at the food bank, Habitat for Humanity. And this is outside of school, bro.
You're right. This is the person.
This is a person.
Yeah.
This is the person, Isaiah, that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So the kid's a hell of a kid, comes from a great family, another smart kid, 3.7 GPA. Not only that, he's a track guy. High jump 6'4". Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the most impressive thing is his catch radius to me. His catch radius. Throw it in his area. And whether it's a one-handed grab, two-handed grab, whether it's adjustment, the dude's hauling it in.
As I'm sure we're going to see in one of these highlights. Here it is right here.
Bam.
Exactly like that. That made me call him Spider-Man. Even though I've been seeing him work in the offseason, and you've told me about this kid for years, there's certain times when you just see kids get in zones.
Yeah.
This kid's been in a zone this entire offseason. Like from 7-on-7 to just workouts to the 2-1-0 showcase. To now doing it in game.
There was even a time I had a conversation with his family. As his father actually is, try to get some weight put on him, so forth, and they ended up getting 10 pounds on him. Right. Dad would send pictures, hey, weighing out meat, hey, we're feeding him.
Right.
And kudos to his parents. It takes a village, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody has to buy into it, and the kids displaying exactly right now what they've been putting in, and that's hard work. All this stuff you also saw during the 7-on-7 circuit this past summer. You know what I mean? That he was running with a couple of teams. He was 18U 7-on-7. He won 2 championships with them teams, and same thing out there was a key receiver on them squads.
Here on the kickoff return, also playing special teams. A lot of players, if y'all want to get out there on the field, one of the things to do is make sure you get on special teams. Look at another clip of him right here.
Yeah.
Execution on routes too. Being able to get in and out of his route. This kid's just been putting in work.
And there's no cheat code to it, bro.
No.
Like you said, it's just putting in work. If you want it, you got to go get it, bro. Got to sacrifice.
Blocking. Look at that. Once again, special teams. And going from outside in the slot, and he also moves
well.
Yeah.
Really well.
And violent with his hands. As you saw on the plays earlier, we were talking about him throwing the guy down earlier.
All right, cool. My next guy out of Highlands High School.
All right, hold on. Let me get it. Your next guy out of Highlands.
Willie Gaskin.
Some SAISD.
Now, Willie, while we're waiting on that, Willie's a 5'9" kid, running back / wide receiver, a 2024 kid.
He looks taller than 5'9".
2024 kid. It's because he plays big. That's why.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay.
Plays
I
big.
got you. I got
Plays
you.
big. That's why. Nah, but Willie's a basketball player. You know what I mean? Willie's another guy that I've been keeping up with throughout the years. They caught my eye throughout the basketball circuit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always looking around, and I went to go watch a basketball game. A friend of mine, and I saw him running up and down the court, and boy had some hops, was getting up. And after the game, I approached him, talked to him, introduced myself. He talked to me, and I just asked him if he played football. I said, yeah, I played at Highlands High School, played running back, receiver. I thought he was already a varsity football player at the time. When I met him, he was just a freshman. I was like, man, this dude playing like he's been playing.
Right.
But this year he's been contributing a lot to Highlands' success.
Right. They are sitting at 3-2 right now.
3-2 right now, exactly. And coming from SCISD, a lot of them kids don't get no love out there, man. Everybody seems to forget the inner city schools, and Willie's one of those kids with the right coaches and in the right hands is definitely would contribute to a team out there.
And Highlands always has some really good talent too. They always have 2 or 3 guys that just need a push.
Yeah.
And but they have all the talent in the world.
And not only that, what was more impressive is the win that they had. I believe was it against the last one they had. Didn't have their starting quarterback. He was out, and they ended up playing Willie at quarterback. Ended up still snagging the victory with him playing at quarterback. So what does that tell you? He's an athlete. Can play receiver, running back, and still was able to play quarterback. Had not even playing quarterback the last couple of years, and still being able to come out with the victory and lead his team. That shows that he has respect for his team, knows his offense in order to execute.
Versus Jefferson.
Yeah.
Versus Jefferson.
Knows his offense in order to execute it as well. So that's pretty impressive to me.
So you see the kickoff return right there.
Athlete. See, and unfortunately, some of these kids at these SCISD schools don't have the rosters that the Harlans and the Brandeis and the the Madison kids have, where they have a pool of kids that they can choose from.
Right.
So when you see a kid be able to play multiple positions and still execute,
that itself, I mean, those are. There's no substitute for that.
My thing is like, all right, cool. What if you only had him on offense? How much faster could he be? How many more moves could he make?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it just.
But being able to play multiple positions will always be a plus.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Always be a plus.
And I think it has a lot to do with basketball, going up and down the court, because he plays basketball year round.
I think that was him at quarterback right there.
So where we at now?
I think you got your
Brady.
Yeah. All right, so we're cutting out of there. We're gonna talk about Mr. Brady's, and don't cut over there yet, because I think this one might end up playing a little thing if it didn't have the. Yeah, it's gonna load the ad. So let's talk about a team, some team placement real quick. So as of right now, Northside, you got Brennan, Taft, Harlan, and Warren as the playoff squads. The school that's about to start the district that's about to start right now only has 5 teams in it: Judson, New Braunfels, Steele, and Clemens, and San Marcos, and East Central. How do you think that might shake out?
May shake out with Steele, for sure.
Here we go. We got Brady now.
So my next guy is Brady Zingelman. Stands at 6'3", 200-pounder. He has a 4.0 GPA, class of 2023. Plays some outside linebacker, defensive end, and also a track guy. Guy's impressive off the ball. Works with his hand. He always gets an extension.
Yes.
Gets an extension when he's firing off. Working upfield. Man, he was actually putting some pressure on Ty.
Yeah. On the interception, he's the lineman who got the hit to seal the game. Coming from that far the left end side. He's a kid I saw everywhere on the camp scene. I know I saw him at Kingsville and I saw him at UTSA. So I mean, this kid's been putting in, and he's a specimen.
Yeah.
Physically, he is a specimen.
And man, I look and I'm like, all right, man, if he can put on a few more pounds, the dude, and without getting slow,
Right.
the dude would be able to execute at the next level.
Like you said, using his hands. Proper placement and power and knowing how to use your hands.
And he has different moves. He'll come at you with the
Yes.
bull rush. He'll come
Yes.
at you with a swim, swat. You know what I mean? He'll come up through with the rip.
Dropping back in coverage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing impressive. He can drop back in coverage and still fast enough. You know what I mean, to keep up. So it's interesting how they're going to utilize him come deeper in the later rounds of the playoffs. Hopefully to get back to the later rounds of the playoffs.
Exactly.
Is he going to play a outside linebacker? Or is he going to play defensive end? Or are they going to, depending on down and distance, what they're going to do with them?
Well, that's a good problem for Coach Bruce to have.
Yeah.
There he is playing some linebacker outside. Special teams.
Mm-hmm. Humming, bro. Look at that.
Yeah,
Humming to the ball.
Yeah.
And hey, nobody wanted to get in front of him. He passed like 3 guys on the way. Nobody wanted to get in front of him.
Running clean.
All right, let's go before we run out of time, man. We got next guy up, Gary Mejia.
Gary Mejia. Let me pull his highlights up real quick.
So back to what you were saying about the shaking up of the 5-team district.
Right.
I'm thinking about, Steele for sure.
Right.
I think Clemens can sneak their way in there.
So you're saying Clemens over in East Central. Over New Braunfels. Because there's 4. There's still 4 games.
Yeah, it's a hard district, bro.
I know.
But I think defensively, Clemens could hold their own with Harvey out there, man. I think he has the experience to make some adjustments, especially coming from that district.
All right, here we go.
So my next guy is Gary Mejia out of Central Catholic. Kid's a stud in my eyes. Has in 110-meter hurdles, PR 14:33. He's gone to state. He's won state one time, and that was this past year. As a sophomore, he got second in state, runner-up. High jumps is 6'2" as well. This year, they hadn't really gone his way too much, but he has 9 tackles, 7 pass breakups, no interceptions, but he also contributes on the offense side of the ball.
Respect.
Yeah, respect. Also contributes on the offense side of the ball, plays defense, does kickoff return. That kid, man, all the stuff that I just rambled off, the most impressive thing also is he just started playing
I was going to say that.
He just started.
If you didn't say that, I was about to say it.
Yeah, he just started playing football, man. So he's been grinding the last 2 years. Putting in work to become that DB or receiver at the next level. And like I said, I mean, going to state and the hurdles and track, man, just watching him progress throughout the years. The dude's fast.
Yeah.
Smooth. Real
quiet
smooth.
feet.
Quiet feet.
Yeah.
Nice hips. Real reliable dude as far as catching the ball right now for Central Catholic Buttons. Right now, I feel like besides Braden Flowers, he's probably you have Braden Flowers, then you have Mayhew, right, on the off as far as offensive weapons. But you can't forget about Gary Mejia, man. They bring him in from the defense side of the ball every now and then when they need a big play, and the dude will come and deliver.
Exactly.
A couple of weeks back, there's a defensive guy who gets your John Wayne Player of the Game for 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's a defensive starter. So that tells you what kind of athlete he is.
All right, so I guess we'll get into my 5, and I got to talk about this kid right here.
Talk to me.
Mr. Jaden Haygood, linebacker out of Judson. Like, there's certain kids that, when you see them make plays, you might be mid conversation and all of a sudden it's like, what'd you say? Because you're paying attention to how this kid's moving. And this is one of these, man, it goes to an ad real quick. Sorry about that, y'all. But this is one of those kids. If you remember what Traylon Payne was like as a sophomore when he popped out there, and it was just like this kid, like, what's going to be the limit with this kid? Like, I see him as even more polished than Traylon Payne was, which is props for being able to see Traylon play and you being able to elevate. That's why I'm big on when people talk about those who come before them. It's like, you don't even realize that you've learned from them by just like osmosis, so to speak, because you know what to do because of a person.
Yeah.
So you being able to see it, you might not think you're taken from it, but you know what to do because you've seen it done. So this kid, I believe, is taking it to that next step. And I'm gonna go over some numbers, but I'm gonna press play and we're gonna watch this because this is just a microcosm. And he's got every clip in here that a coach would love to see. He's got an offer from UTSA right now. So they've already seen it. So just a couple of numbers. This kid's 6'1", about 190 pounds right now. But his attack range is like several yards away. So once that gap is open, he's able to shoot from 3 or 4 yards back and already be in on the ball carrier. He's got 52 tackles right now, and 25% of those are for a loss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and
what's the build on this guy?
6'1", 190. I can't wait to see him in a camp setting.
Would he be one of those guys that would be able to transition over to safety?
He has that look about him, definitely, and I love the fact that that he's very physical, and the play recognition for him to even know when to attack, and we'll see a clip of him going forward and then retreating to get back in coverage and get a pass breakup. So there's some ball skill there. Shedding blocks, getting low. He has a forced fumble. He has a pass defended, and he has a fumble recovery for the season. But this is one of the kids that I get hyped for on this Judson defense. Good speed. This is him versus Hutto. And the thing that I like more so in like a lot of linebackers, period, is when any defender, when you hit the ball runner, the ball stops there. It's not, oh, we're falling forward 2 or 3 yards. This kid's like a wall when he hits you.
Yeah.
And the attack and the impact on attack is one of the things that I'm most impressed with him is how that ball just stops. So this is another good talented player once again out of Converse Judson. Here we go. That was the dropping back play. Now let's go to another kid who I first saw at the 210 exposure, or first really took a notice to at the 210 exposure showcase, and that is Mr. Darian Holmes from Warren, one of those Warren talents like we were just talking about. Thought he was a tight end. He plays receiver. He has great size. He's about 6'3". He's listed at 194 pounds. That's what he says he is. But looks really lean, but like filled out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad it didn't load right there. Good. Right now he's got 43 receptions for 702 yards, 8 touchdowns, and averaging 16 yards a catch. Really physical on the catch, and good at using his body. Has some of the best hands. Exactly how you said with Braden Flowers. I mean, there's not many kids that I would even attempt to put close to Braden's catching ability, but if there was one, it'd probably be this kid and Alex Wyatt for kids of that size.
Yeah.
Shout out Braden Flowers. Can't wait to see him at SMU. Being physical, out there blocking. And this is just, I mean, he's one of the many weapons that they have out there at Warren, able to do multiple things. I think sometimes receivers, DBs might slow plan because they think he's just big, but if you let him get by you, you're going to have a hard time catching up to him.
Yeah.
Or that was just taking advantage of that. And then, you know, him working out with Antonio a lot in this offseason. He's another what's the 7-on-7 squad I'm trying to think of with Alex, the gold team. I've been following them all this time.
Prime
time. Forgive me, prime time. Another one of their guys. Him, Alex Wyatt, Dylan Gordon on that squad, Aiden.
Isaiah even helped them out in
Right.
Manchester
Exactly.
every now and then as well. You know, it's just kids putting in work, man. You know, they're gonna be floating around from team to team. There's no hard feelings to it. It's just, hey, trying to put in work this weekend.
Exactly. Five guys taking them burgers right there. Call that burgers. Contested catches. Any type of catch that you would need out of a big receiver, you're going to be able to get it out of Darian Holmes. And the effort afterwards is going to take an army to take this dude down. Nasty, physical, good hands, many routes he can run, but they like to like to throw to him on the bubble screens a lot, or because he is so tough to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to get a lot of yak and still averaging 16 yards a catch when maybe about a third of his catches are within 2 yards. So that just lets you know.
Yep.
All right, next up. Josiah Ali, defensive lineman from Roosevelt. There we go. They're coming off of their victory yesterday over Churchill. That was the Saturday afternoon game in which he had 10 tackles. Here we go. Josiah Ali, 6'3", 280-pound nose guard, also plays some of the end. They play a three-man front over at Roosevelt, so they move him up and down the line. Really good instinctually on getting the backfield and stopping the run. Currently has 44 tackles, 10 sacks. But other than those 10 sacks, he's got 8 tackles for loss and a forced fumble. So about half of his tackles have been in the backfield so far for this season.
Yeah.
Really violent with his hands, how like we were talking about with Brady earlier. But definitely going to be one of those three technique nose guard type bills for the next level.
And one of those things is, you know, when you mention it, these guys were talking about these defensive linemen. You know, you got Brady who had 10 tackles for losses in the backfield.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you got 7 sacks, and then with your guy, and these guys are guys that they don't talk about week in and week out, man.
No.
Why? Because it's not the glorified position.
Yeah, it's not the skill, the one where you can pan out and they're by themselves in the
exactly.
frame.
I mean, wish Case at 12 would say, "Hey, man, this guy has 44 tackles right now," and you know what I mean. So, or he has so many hurries, but they don't give love like that, man. And that's why we're here doing it.
Sack, even that sack, like Like you might hear about Brady with the hit on Ty because that was the game time or the game clinching hit, but you wouldn't realize that, you know, he's causing havoc.
Yep.
Way to be alert on the strip fumble. Way to control and then shed the block, being able to read where the running back's going to go. And not being lazy, because I know sometimes with big dudes, you can just be content with being there. Like, okay, I'm holding up, somebody come and help, you know, but not. But for him to be able to shed his blocker and get back in the backfield, you know, that's effort and want to. Josiah Ali, number 35. And this is a kid who runs a sub 540. I saw him up at Texas, and he was a little bit mad about his times because nice follow up. Nice follow up. So, you know, this is a motivated kid that Roosevelt has on their defensive line that I think is going to be one that is a prospect that people should really pay attention to, and is going to be getting quite a few offers. So I would definitely be excited about this young man's future, given the potential that he's showing right now and the effort. All right, next up. Who do I got? I got two more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go with probably a very popular name right now. And that is a quarterback out of Cibolo Steel, Chad Warner.
Yep.
Chad Warner's got Steel at 5-0. I know we were talking about their district, but let's talk about 28-6A. Who would be the surprise team for you in that 28-6A with Roosevelt, Madison, Reagan? Okay. In that district, Johnson and
I think Johnson can slip in, bro.
Johnson.
Yeah.
So just off top, I'm thinking you're thinking Reagan, Clark,
Johnson,
and who's your fourth?
Probably what, Roosevelt.
That's gonna be a good one. All right, here we go. We got Chad Warner rolling out right here. If y'all went to the Pigskin Classic, then y'all definitely know who. Did I say Chad Johnson? Chad Warner. Chad Warner is quarterback for Steel. You know, this kid's got a very good arm, possesses good pocket presence, able to feel and read the rush, get open. Like you see here, he's able to use his feet. He's got 1,188 passing yards, is 81 for 114 passing for a 71% completion rate, 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So I think in the first 5 games, that's going to tell you that he's very efficient. He's able to get the ball around to his talent, but he's also able to complement that run game.
He's another kid who's been putting in the work, man. I mean, you thought you were going to have a quarterback controversy over there, right? You know,
right.
Heading into the season. Then
right.
You got, Warner with his head down, putting in work, doing the 7-on-7. Man, it's almost like every other day he was posting a clip out there throwing the NFL ball.
Right.
How would I know? Because he was showing, hey, we're throwing an NFL ball.
Right.
70 yards, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Was getting invited to camps, was going to camps. Had a lot of confidence in himself, man. Like he believed that he deserved that spot, and he was going to work to get that spot. And I think he went about it the right way. And not only that, I think the head coaches and the coaching staff at Steel went about it the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we were at the Alamo Dome. They started off with Connor at quarterback. Shouts out to Bailey getting them 2 touchdown lead. Say, you know what? Let's see what this dude has. He's been putting in the work. We've been seeing it all over social media. Let's see if it matches up.
Can it translate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can it translate? Does it match up? And look where we're at now.
Exactly. 5-0.
5-0, and his percentages as far as his completion and stuff like that. It tells you that he understands the game of football. He understands coverages, and he knows what he needs to do.
When you're completing over 70% of your passes, you've got a firm grasp of what you're doing out there.
And how many interceptions?
2.
How many attempts?
114.
It's not bad at all. You know what I mean? Especially for being a youngster in that district, and they haven't just played any pushover teams, man.
Right? No.
No. That's the most impressive part.
Not
of
at
it
all. Not at all. Victories over Brennan.
Yeah.
Brennan, Lake Travis, Midland Lee.
Yeah.
Legacy.
So he's another guy that we're definitely gonna keep our eyes on, just how we are with Ty Hawkins. Both young guys definitely putting in work.
Just on a rope, like able to make multiple throws from either side of the hash mark. If you give him a clean pocket, he can make any throw that you need. Rolling out to the right here. All right, we're gonna get into our last prospect out of the 210 area. One more play. All right, here we go. And who is this going to be? The one and only Jacob Gonzalez, athlete, running back, if you want to say running back, from Harlan. Over 2,000 yards last year, all-purpose yards, and he's back at an even higher clip now, performing. Last 2 games, 12 touchdowns.
I mean, Harlan has some weapons. I mean, you have Isaiah out there who contributes with his 4 touchdowns this year. You have another receivers out there that are contributing as well with touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Mikey, they got Tupac out there. Like they've got some guys, but as you see here, man, the thing about this kid, I think, is his fearlessness and the angles that he chooses to run at, because he's also physical, but if he can get by you, he's going to get by you and use his physicality when he needs to. Just a couple numbers on him right now. 108 carries, 889 yards, 12 touchdowns, 8.2 yards per carry, 12 receptions, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 18 yards per catch.
Yeah, it's just having a vision, man, and that's something you can't coach.
I didn't even write that down, but you're 100% correct.
It's having vision, bro, and that's what this kid has. I mean, I've been following him as well, and the thing that always stands out to me when I watch him play and I see his highlights is really just his vision. And he's fast, but when you're able to see shit before it happens,
yes,
excuse my language, but see it before it happens, man, and just say, I'm gonna set him up for this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that's something you can't coach. It's just special. You know what I mean?
And that's something that he does what I tell players all the time to do. Put that defense on their heels. Like, you be the aggressor. Make them have to tackle you. Make them do something. Yeah. And that's why, there are certain players, and since Riley Pachacek isn't playing anymore, Jacobs replaced him to me, and those players that I just get excited when they have the football. Like him, Avron, and Jeremiah Dunn. Those 3 guys, when they have the football, they're going to make you have to do something.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jacob, because he's fast. Like you said, it's the vision, and he's trusting what he sees, which is why he's able to get where he goes.
Yeah, but you check him out. I mean, head on a swivel.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, you usually tell guys, don't be looking back when you're running. You're looking back when you're running, but when he does it, it's different.
Right?
It's different, bro, because he's making it happen.
Look at this.
Nah, great acceleration,
Exactly.
great vision, bro.
Exactly. You know, trusting his abilities and using them. Do you know who I think of when like he excels and he's not as physical, and I wonder who's faster, him and Aiden Anesta. When they see a spot, it's like 3 or 4 steps and boom, they're
You know who reminds me of like a Jamal Charles
there. You go,
back in the days, bro. Jamal Charles from Texas.
being able to accelerate.
Yeah, like not a really big back, but he's just fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Great acceleration, great vision.
He's around 5'8", 5'9", 190. Definitely look at that. Definitely a beast. So shout out to Jacob.
And shout out to Harlan coaching staff when utilize him, you know, as a little Swiss Army knife, bro.
Okay. Let us get a time check real quick because that just led me to something. All right. So exactly. So shout out to everybody who we shined the light on today. Make sure y'all send us your clips, and you know we're definitely gonna keep on doing these updates. So shout out to Chad, Darian, Jaden, Josiah, Jacob.
Shout outs to Nicholas Lee, Isaiah Manchester, Brady Zingelman, Gary Mejia, and Willie Gaskin.
So exactly how you said, Harlan coaches being able to identify that talent and putting them in the correct position, because that's something that I don't feel like Harlan's really had an issue with all the talent that's gone through there. I don't think it's ever been misused offensively.
No.
Like they've had Cannon, they've had Spriggs,
McDade.
Yes. Like and they're able to keep everybody fed.
Yeah.
So I don't see that as being an issue. And I kind of look at this group. Isaiah, Noah, and Jacob.
Mickey, yeah.
Like they got something over there, Harlan.
Oh yeah. But hey, it's like we said, it's the first 5 games we're talking about right now. It's not how you start the season,
it's how you finish
it, man.
So I mean,
hey, go out there and continue grinding, continue doing what you do. Most importantly, stay up with them grades.
Right, exactly. And y'all know when y'all are on my spaces, always make sure, because I know coach will definitely say it, so I make sure I say it. You don't have the grades, you can't make the plays.
No.
And make sure y'all check with the schools and see what their GPA is for even being accepted, and set that as a goal. If that's your dream school or whatever you want, make sure that you can get in, because there's going to be certain situations you don't know if athletically you're going to get a scholarship at those spots.
And not only that, if you're a senior, by now you should have your NCAA clearinghouse stuff taken care of. Right. By now you should have already gone and registered for the schools that you're interested in, so you could even at least get accepted.
You're right.
And remember, don't just fill out those applications for them D1s. Go and do some D2s, D3s, and
definitely
get those that get accepted to the colleges, so that whenever that end of the season comes, or whenever it's time for the choice, hey, coach, I've already been accepted. I got my NCAA clearinghouse taken care of. All you got to do is make sure you got your ACTs, SATs, all that squared away. Be ahead of the game, bro, because for y'all seniors right now, if y'all haven't got that done, you're way behind.
You know how, us reminiscing is being y'all's age as kids, when you get stuff done, so then you can go ask your parents.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Hey, room's clean, kitchen's clean, fridge, whatever, yards cut, blah, 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 blah. I did it before you got home. You mind if I go?
Yeah, got to take care of it, man.
Exactly.
And if y'all don't know the steps, or there's no one guiding you through it, don't hesitate to reach out in our DMs, man. We'll guide you through the whole process.
100%.
Or if not, Brandon will send you my way. We'll get it all scored away. But
100%.
We ain't gonna be holding anybody by the hands. You got to come reach out to us.
100%. So, if you didn't hear your name called, then go ahead and reach out. And if you did, reach out, because we already know. So, man, I'm excited for this week coming up. Some crucial games coming up. Like I said, 27 6A is starting district. So, man, Steele versus New Braunfels, Judson versus East Central. Man, it's gonna be some really good football played. Johnson versus Clark.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
We're gonna be there.
Yeah,
we're gonna be there.
Good one.
Yeah, and I'll be out and see Davenport as well as they play Taylor. So and then they played Lampasas too after that. And I was like, see, no slouches.
Davenport hasn't been shying away from competition since they opened.
No, exactly.
Yep.
No. People asking for smoke, they over there fanning it. like yeah. Yep. So definitely.
You on the phone over there?
No, but this is like my hat is knocking my headphones back.
Oh man, so, I ain't showed you that part yet. How to hold the thing. That's one thing.
No, what's going on is his head's too big.
I was just saying.
Can y'all hear him laughing in the background like that? So, hey man, this has been episode 141 of Along the Wire. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube at Along the Wire SAXTHSF. Follow me on Twitter at BDamone and at Instagram at BDamone. Follow Coach Gomez
at STX.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it right here.
Y'all see it.
Where's it at? Right there.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and give us a follow. And like we said, if y'all have any questions about what it takes, give us a call. If you're serious about reach out to us, DM us. If you're serious about playing college football and you just want to ask some questions, parents to see this, you want to see how you can be more of a help to your kids, you want to help them get training, shout out to the trainers across the city. Carl, DJ, forgive me, why am I stumbling? Coach Be Better.
You got Coach Be Better. You got Coach Miller. You got Coach Calvin who does stuff.
Coach
Calvin. Got Coach Juice. Shout out Coach Juice.
Yeah, Juice as well. I was about to say Silverback. Yeah.
You got Coach Dunk out there. You got Bebe out there. You got Coach Pluck out there.
If y'all aren't sure about
Yale Vanoy out there, there's a lot of trainers and guys that are
Coach Miller, man, reach out. I mean, because any position we can try to get you right. And I'm not gonna cap just because you see him here, but this gentleman right here, if y'all want to get right, come and see Coach Gomez. Coach Gomez.
It's low key, bro. It's low key. We work under the radar.
I mean, I don't even, he'll come and tell me who he's working with. I don't even know. So
facts.
So
there's a lot of kids we work with, man. We just keep it low key, bro.
Exactly.
It ain't all about the clout for us. We just like having fun, helping kids, go in the right direction and put in that work, man.
Exactly.
And, the resume speaks for itself, bro. There's a lot of names on that list that people don't even know about, but
exactly.
You know what I mean? There's gonna be a day I'm gonna drop it. You know what I mean? And it'll be all good.
So hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and make sure y'all stay tuned to the spaces because we will be continuing to do those after post game spaces and talk about what's been going on in the city. I appreciate everybody's energy. Much love. 210. Hook 'em birds up. 210.